What?
You should abstain, Ralph.
What's in it for me?
Ralph abstained.
Members of the council,
13.1.
in the absence of the mayor and the council president, it's necessary for you to move to have someone be the council president pro tem to run this evening's meeting. Are there any nominations?
I nominate Mr. Robert Davis.
Any other nominations?
Sal Palladino, but he's not here. So I'll second the nomination, Mr. Davis.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Council president pro tem.
Think we should move to paper ballot.
Everybody, roll call, please.
Ms. Guadagnino? Here. Mr. Palladino? Mr. Andrews?
Here.
Mr. Corbin?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Socia? Mayor Womack?
And I'm pro tem for 2 minutes.
How you doing?
We just started.
Good job, bud.
All right.
Good job, Councilman.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the backing.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publication in the Home News and Tribune on January 1st, 2017, indicating that the North Country Township Council will regular meetings on the first and third Monday of each month at 7 p.m. at 710 Herman Road, North Brunswick, and agenda meetings on the second and fourth Monday of the month at the same place at 7 p.m. In the event a regular meeting falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on Tuesday night after said holiday at the same place and hour.
Thank you very much. Bill List issue, questions?
Good evening. I have two items. I'm looking for the first item is business. Any questions? The second one is chapter 159 for cultural and heritage red. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Don't take up so much time.
Yeah. And then next, Ms. Benson.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, council residents joining us.
What'd you do yesterday?
I ran the half marathon in Portsmouth.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Mayor.
How much was the total value of the real estate you're in the past?
It was magnificent. It was extremely beautiful scenery, but grueling hills. I have 3 items tonight for your consideration. My first item is authorizing an application and acceptance for the County of Middlesex Cultural and Heritage Day Commission. That's for our Heritage Day grant, and that is a total of $5,500 with a cash match of $2,750. My second item is authorizing an amendment to contract bid 15002 with High Tech Landscape Inc. for tree removal and tree trimming services, and that's our company that we use to service our trees throughout the township. My third item is authorizing the rejection of contract bid 17005 and the award contract to Hereford Fleet Services for the purchase of one 2017 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD. It's a dump truck under the state contract, and we're saving approximately $11,000 by using the state contract, and it better fits the needs of our Parks Division. Are there any questions?
Yeah, so is that why we reject, is that why it's a rejection?
The rejection was we had the opportunity to purchase off of the state contract, and we could save money.
Oh, okay.
As well as the type of equipment fitted to the truck that our department wanted for use in the field.
So this new truck fits all the specifications that
Fits our
your department wanted, right?
Yes, that is
Did the
correct.
councilman dressed in green attend the St. Patrick's Day party at the senior center today?
He did, and he was extremely helpful and helped us serve lunch today, and brought in special hats for everyone to wear too, so he made the event quite festive. So thank you, Councilman Davis, for helping serve those lunches.
You're welcome, Ms. Benson.
I know Bob is Jewish heritage, but I do often think he looks a lot like a leprechaun when he's out working and helping.
And you know that years ago, the mayor of the mayor was Jewish in Ireland.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going back a long time.
Liam, did he get a free meal?
On that note,
He brings
I
up,
hope
if you would show up, you would have something.
I hope you all have a wonderful evening and safe travels to everyone. Just as a reminder,
No, Mayor Dublin.
That's new, is Irish Bob Davis.
Is the Heritage Day grant the same as it always is? Is that a standard amount?
basically, it is a set amount, some years a little bit more, some years a little bit less, but that is a ballpark of what we usually get. I just want to remind everyone, following protocol with the schools, all DPRCS programs are canceled tomorrow, and there'll be an update for Wednesday as well. So safe travels to
Get some
everyone.
rest. You go ahead and go if you like.
Thank you.
Director McCormick?
Mayor, Council. I just have one item. If you remember last workshop, we rejected bids for police reports and the bids that came in. The reason is we were looking at a different solution, and we came up with Carfax, which is a web-based service, and it also provides an investigative tool to law enforcement and supplies police reports online to our residents. There's actually no cost associated with this from the company, but we are looking to charge a small fee for the services through the township for what we're going to need to do on our end. So that'll be coming in really soon, but this is where we think we need to go in the direction for the police reporting online.
That's what you talked to us about recently.
Yes, the reporting online, it would be a feature that you could, then a resident could go into the police website, click on it, and it brings you to a website called Crash Docs. And for a fee that will be presented to the governing body at a later date, it would be amended by ordinance. And that fee would then be passed on to the revenue to the township, whatever fee is determined.
You guys are on police reports, basically. and take it-
Yeah, simply it's to provide action reports online.
Okay.
So have to come and pick them up.
Search by name.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
You guys all wanted to comment on the excellent job with the great ed capability.
It wasn't all we cracked up to be.
And you didn't say something to me.
Thank you.
Have a good night. I know you gotta get storm work done, so you're welcome to go ahead and go if you like. Thank you.
Beautiful straight line mayor.
Director Ritz.
Yeah, I think
Is
Eric,
somebody doing Mr. Chazar's?
that might be walking in.
Well, we wanted to go ahead and get you, Mr. Ritz.
Good evening, council. A couple of items. The first is our annual CDBG grant. I do want to note that the Citizens Advisory Committee met, and in our proposed budget this year, we are going to draw down from our housing rehabilitation for close to $11,000 in order to fund kitchen floor and bathroom upgrades at our senior center. So we have about $11,000 dedicated to those repairs, sorely needed repairs at the senior center. We've got, there'll be public hearings for bond releases for both Maybrook Estates and Unlimited Construction, which is actually tied to the four-home subdivision on Oak Road.
If you wanted to think of a name for a developer that would get the attention of the planning and zoning board, Unlimited Construction.
There you go.
Probably.
Item 4 does not represent a change. This is another effort by the DOT to bring all of their files and what are called TROs up to order. This resolution simply verifies the existing speed limit and line markings on Milltown Road for the state. At our last meeting, we did one similar for Carolier Lane. And finally, pleased that we're authorizing the receipt of bids for the 2017 road program. I do want to note and just plant a seed that at least initially our engineering estimates are high and beyond our budget, although on an almost annual basis, our actual bids come in significantly lower. But in order to plan for that, we have 2 add-delete items. The first one is the easiest. That's the new police parking lot in the back of the building, which we were doing as an element of preventive maintenance. But the second add delete, if we are over and still short, We've included the section of Cranberry Crossroad that we already repaired from Livingston Avenue to Newton Street. I don't believe that's going to be necessary. If I believe anything, I believe we'll be close, and so the alternative may be me coming back to the governing body and asking your consideration to fund the difference. But I'm just hoping that we'll get some aggressive bids and we won't have to use the deletions.
It's very unusual because usually you don't have a problem with those bids.
We had add deletes the past year or two. We've had one, but we haven't needed them.
Right.
So, but we have to do it based on the engineer's estimate. We are over budget, but
You always come in on this.
we always come in. So, and if we have something, the police lot will be the first. That's less than $200,000, which should narrow the gap. And then if we're in a Cranberry Road situation, I would be reluctant to do that. I would hope we would be close, and perhaps we would consider funding the difference, but we'll know when the bids come in.
That road's gotta get done.
It does. We don't have anywhere else to go because we're in the final phase of Hoover, Lake, and then Calvert Road, which is arguably the single worst road in the township. So we discussed this a lot, and that's why we only did a portion of Cranberry and only as a second add delete. But I'm hoping we're going to be fine.
Michael, the article in the New York Times and some of the follow-up things got the attention of the state and other people, and things are going in a lot of different directions, or coming in at us from different directions.
Yes.
We don't want to talk about them, I don't think, right now, because nothing's certain. But let's make sure that everybody on the council gets a briefing as to what's going on, to the extent we know. Even today, some of them was delivered to me that I'm not quite sure where it came from.
Yeah, and there are some tentative meetings that are being discussed, and I was away, so I apologize. I will only share, as I did with the mayor, and I said I would share with the council, and I'm just back last Thursday. I haven't followed through, is that the article did generate a response from New Jersey Transit directly back to us, who have indicated their interest in meeting. And the premise of that meeting is to sort of pick up where we left off when the executive director resigned last year, and we had presented a public-private partnership for some discussion that never really got a look by Transit. And then, of course, the Hoboken train accident happened right after that. But we have some other things happening that we can discuss privately that aren't yet for public consumption, and I will absolutely bring everybody up to date. But it's generated, I think, a lot of activity in our favor to shine a light on something that we all agree has to happen. And hopefully I'll be back to you with some more detail about some promising things that are happening. Okay?
As you know, when I spoke to you today, when I was at the senior building, they were asking about A&P, so you just might want to let the general public know.
Yeah,
that
I
there's
was
nothing set now.
hoping to provide Councilman Davis with an update, but there is still on the table an active negotiation for a large grocer to occupy the A&P site, but they have not signed a contract. I think we're closer to announcing at least one of the big unnamed realtors at the former Barnes & Noble location. We had some discussions about that today. In fact, they're going to be starting some interior alterations within a week or so. And I've actually have unofficial word about another major realtor to occupy the Eastern Mountain Sports space next to Panera. But that contract has also not been signed. But it is a well-known, major, respectable retailer that I think will be well received. So I know it's frustrating, but I'm bound by, we're bound, but we're waiting. So spring is in the air, and hopefully we'll have some big announcements soon.
Spring's in the
Spring in the air.
Nor'easter coming.
Yeah, right.
8 inches of snow on it.
Yeah, well, we have 7 days to the first day of spring. Hopefully it'll be cleaned up by then, so.
The Addams Family was good.
Thank you very much. We had a very good show.
One quick thing.
Yes, sir.
It's just an aside. It's not a question for Mike, but I had somebody approach me from the borough of Milltown, and somebody lived there. It's basically right on the border of Milltown and North Brunswick, concerning trees that were in the back found out that there was a right-of-way. So he said he would look at it. Scott Coons called me, said he's going out. Luann was going out, I spoke to her. It's all being cleaned up. But the cooperation that we got in the activity and how fast that was done for neighbor and community, I think it really says something for our departments. And I'm not just picking on Mike or Luann, I'm singling them out because that's the example I have, and I feel the same way about all the other department heads.
It was a team effort, and we were happy to help. It got done very quickly with thanks to the park staff, and it looks good. We're glad we got it cleaned up.
Good.
Thank you.
Michael.
Thank you.
Doug, I know you got a long night ahead of you. Is there anything on your agenda for Eric other than the authorizing the application of the State of New Jersey DEP recycling tonnage grant?
There's nothing on the agenda, there may be some things we want to talk about, like the upcoming preparations, et cetera.
Did you all want to did you and Mark want to talk about that, or is everybody up to speed, or?
Sure, I think it would be good to let the public know where we are.
Okay,
Yeah, why don't you come on up, so we can
There, you could probably point out too that we're going to announce that we're closing tomorrow for the public.
Well, correct, tomorrow, the Township of North Brunswick will be closed, except for directors, the assistant VA, the clerk's office.
We'll be here.
Everybody's going to be closed tomorrow. Mark, I think so. Have a seat, Doug. All right, have a seat up here, Doug.
I don't want to take your seat
Yeah,
here.
take. You're the storm guy.
I saw what happened to the interim president. He was removed in 2 minutes.
We're hoping that happens with you.
Thank you. Come on, you never give the Irishman a chance to talk. Okay, first of all, I would just like to say that to the residents, please take this storm seriously. We had a telephone meeting with the governor earlier today, and he is stressing that this is for real, so please take this seriously. Use extreme caution. If you don't need to drive, please don't drive. And most importantly, to help out our DPW, Department of Parks, Department of Public Works agency, please try to keep your cars off of the street, on all streets if possible, and more importantly, on our snow emergency routes, please make sure that you do not park on them. You will be summoned if you do. That's for obvious reasons. We want to make sure our fire trucks and ambulances and police cars can get through those roadways, because they'll be much narrower with the snow on the side. The amount of snow makes it difficult for DPW to go curb to curb, so we want to make that clear. The crews will be out, Doug will talk about that, but if anybody has any questions, you can call the emergency management telephone at 732-247-7272, and we will be in that office at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning to start with our day, making sure that our residents remain safe.
Mark, do we have any warming places or things that we've had in the past?
We do not at this time. If we do have a power outage, we will most likely open a warming center or two at that point.
Okay, and residents can call that number that you just gave us.
That's.
You would do that again?
Yeah, once again, I'll give that number. I'll give the residents a few moments to get a pencil. We ask that if you do have questions, that you do call our emergency management number, and that allows our police number to remain for actual emergencies, be they life-threatening emergencies, accidents, so on and so forth. And it leaves their lines open for other emergencies that may take place. So if you have questions, about maybe a tree down or something like that, you can call. And the number I'll repeat now is 732-247-7272. And that will be in service, as I said, from 5 o'clock a.m. through until the end of the storm.
Thank you.
It's all you, sir.
I'll keep talking. DPW spent a major portion of the day preparing for this, and yesterday actually too. We've pre-treated the streets in the township, pretty much every street, but mostly we're focusing on our primary streets, the dangerous intersections, the hills, that kind of thing, with salt brine. So the snow will not bond to the pavement, should peel up pretty easily. That's what we're hoping. We're prepared with contractors. I had a fleet count here somewhere. I want to say 39 pieces of equipment in various neighborhoods. Every neighborhood will have a significant plow presence and snow removal. We've got contracted tandem trucks, contracted loaders. We've got 3 of those, 4 tandems that are contracted. We have, I believe, 18 pieces of municipal vehicles that are set for plow, snow removal, etc. They've all been checked out, they're gassed up, fueled up, and they're running, ready to go. Not running this minute, but working in working order. Okay. We've got some...
Doug, one question on that, because you're not gonna start, you don't start plowing until when the snow starts to taper off, or?
No, we
When are you gonna start?
have to keep up with this, especially this. It's coming, it could have the potential of coming 4 inches per hour.
Okay.
That gets way ahead of you very quickly. The reason people want to stay off the road is that, for a few reasons, it's dangerous for them to be caught in that they may be stranded in their own vehicle with no way to get assistance. But the public works can't wait. The ambulances still have to field their rigs and the fire trucks, et cetera. We're prepared to back up any emergency vehicles that need to get to, say, New Brunswick hospitals. We'll,
So you start right away?
All the way,
Okay,
yes.
good.
We've done that over the years, and it's quite effective in the relationship there. They call through the police department or directly to DPW, and we send a flower. So, yeah, we just have to keep with that storm as it goes along. And we start pretty much around the 2-inch level. We can start fielding equipment. We don't field the larger pieces at 2 inches. That comes in around 4. You know, it's not effective, and you start beating up the road a little bit if you go too soon with the large plows. Loaders are the thing that do the cleanup at the end. That's detail work where you get the piles moved out of the intersections to try to free up the access to the highways, because the state highway is beautiful, putting in hills like this, so you can't get out to the highway. But anyway, is that sort of...
No, yeah, absolutely. Also, I noticed that on Schmidt Lane, there are cones that are set up on the field there for emergency parking for people who might live in that area and need a place to park. So.
Yeah, that was Loop Park, I believe.
JFK.
No, it's a one on Schmidt, yeah, Schmidt, yeah, JFK.
Babbage and Sabella.
Right, as Mrs. Benson was saying, JFK on Schmidt Lane, Babbage Park, and Sabella all have parking areas that residents can utilize to keep their vehicles off of the roads. If they can do that, it would be greatly appreciated.
In addition, we got delivery of 200 tons of salt today, so just this morning,
Wow.
trucking it in, and so we're real set on de-icing, you know.
Come on, I know, it's not good for your heart, right?
We're trying to cut back.
You suspended garbage collection for tomorrow, right? So you don't
Yes,
want people
we,
putting their cans out, so you start whacking that stuff with snow plows?
Right, we have to move that snow to the curb, and it has to go all the way, so we get to restore the drainage when it melts. So the garbage collection would definitely be in the way. Those auto carts have to be delayed till Saturday. That's when we're gonna push to do the collection for the automated route. The one affected would be the Tuesday route, which is down here in Burdine's Corner. If you have Section 1 on your auto route, that's the one that will be delayed until Saturday. The rest of them should process through normally. We're hoping to have the whole town plowed in the other areas by the following day.
And also, I noticed that the Wednesday recycling has remained the same.
Wednesday, yes.
Yeah.
Tuesday has been postponed.
No, right, but I mean, Wednesdays remain the same. I just saw a resident.
Yes, thank you for that,
And
yes.
Tuesday recycling is Friday.
Excuse me?
Tuesday recycling is Friday.
Garbage.
Tuesday garbage is Saturday, but
Saturday,
Tuesday
right.
recycling is Friday.
Yes.
They're different days, right?
I had a communication
that what it is? Is that what we made the announcement on that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we got phone calls and stuff.
I apologize if I was in here.
Amanda doesn't realize how slow the rest of it, she starts seeing Tuesdays, Friday,
Friday.
Right, I know what that is. No,
Mark, is there anything else you really wanted to
It's the
add?
second condo run. It's-
No, I just, again, just to remind residents, if you don't have to drive, please don't drive. Many, as you had said earlier, many of the schools and businesses are probably closed tomorrow, and so just use common sense. And maybe one last thing that's extremely important is, if you are using a portable generator, make sure that it's not in your house or close to your house with an open door or something like that. Carbon monoxide poisoning is very serious, and it can be fatal, so we want to make sure that we remind our residents to please be careful. And of course, we always try to remind our residents to help your elderly neighbors. Help them, check on them, make sure everybody is okay. Okay, but take this seriously, please.
Thank you.
You'll be glad you did. Thank you.
Mark, do you have all the volunteers you need, or are you still?
Well, it's always hard to plan for an event like this because we don't know. The weather forecast, as you know, has been, started out at a couple of inches. Now we're up to, it's looking like 18 inches for this particular area. So, and it could be more, so we don't know, but,
No, I'm waiting.
yeah, if anybody is interested, again, you can call our emergency management office. I'll give that number one more time, 732-247-7272. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, we have-
Thank you, sir.
We have a little confusion in the recycling. Okay, the recycling collection will be postponed till Saturday,
Yes.
according to Waste Management. It's the double collection, the 2-day-a-week collection in the condominiums and the multifamilies. The Tuesday collection will be postponed till the second day of collection on Friday. That's where that comes in. It's just a matter of not doing that one collection day and shifting it to a double day on the second part of the week. Okay. It should be online, posted that way also. I think we're on the website and the Public Works site and 2 other places.
And if you want us to all sign on the thank you note to Eric for going on vacation this week.
I think we could wait till he gets back and sign.
Yeah,
No.
on the islands, right?
Yeah.
Florida,
He's in
wasn't it?
Florida.
Florida.
Laughing.
80-degree weather. Oh, sorry.
Thank you so much, Doug.
Do you need the any information for the resolution?
No, I think we did.
You voted on it already.
No, we didn't
Wait
vote.
for me, huh?
It's all reviewed, though.
Okay. I'm good.
Yeah, you're all set. You can head back out.
You can.
Get some dinner, get ready for the night. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure.
First item on Justine's agenda is getting a new, getting her.
Thank you. I just have 2 items under Kathy for consideration. The first is to continue on with the remediation project over at the high school and Veterans Park. This is specifically the Plains Gap Road area, as well as the auditorium at the high school, to have some of the air testing done and to transition the LSRP services from Kleinfelder for the groundwater to TNM. And so that is included in their proposal, the transition services. And then the second item on for consideration is LightPath for the dedicated internet access, voice and data. About 5 years ago, we had gone to LightPath to do a dedicated fiber to both the DPW as well as the parks maintenance facility. And so we had built out that infrastructure 5 years ago, and we also had done voice and data on that. And so the 5-year contract had come up, and we've had a few meetings with the IT and with Kathy, with the LightPath, who's now under the Middlesex County Education Regional Co-op. And so we got pricing for them, and so we kind of outlined where we were under the old contract and where we're at under the new contract, which has a little bit of a reduced cost because that infrastructure's been built out. So there's about a $12,000 savings over the years going forward. So this is authorizing a 3- and 5-year contract.
So he's going to say,
Yeah, and they increased the bandwidth. Yeah, they took everything up. It was good.
don't get too technical, because Bob and I will lose you.
No, speak for yourself.
Okay, all I have this evening is approval of minutes from our regular council meeting of March 6th. And that's all I have.
Is there, Ron, you got anything?
I do not, sir.
No closed session? How many people have shown up to speak this evening?
It's a long list, but I love it.
No one here for the public hearing. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor? Everybody have a good night.
You know where to find me.